higher AP year than, but has a limit so until he's only 33, so it's a 2-year deal.
Yeah, $70 million guaranteed or something like that. Yeah, you could see that. But it's a crazy gamble that they're doing down there with that, and really quiet on most everything else.
Yep.
So you're just kind of waiting on that for them. The other team in the AFC North, the Baltimore Ravens, they signed DeAndre Hopkins, so they add him to that room.
The Ravens are very interesting to me in the sense that they make a ton of incredible decisions. Mm-hmm. But if there's one position that they seem to have a little bit of a blind spot for what somebody was or accomplished in the past, it's wide receiver. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of guys that kind of finish out their career in Baltimore at that position. Now, $6 million is different than when they gave 15 to Odell.
Yeah.
$6 million, okay, that's less than Tutu Atwell got. So that makes sense. But
yeah.
And if you kind of look at what they're doing, I kind of see the role that he plays for them as like a big slot, kind of not a tight end, but you've got Zay Flowers, you've got Bateman, who's a home run hitter, and then he's going to work the short and intermediate game and just be another reliable option. So on that hand, I don't hate it.
No. And they're in a position, the Bills, the Lions, there's a handful of teams that there is an immense amount of pressure to go win the ultimate prize. They're running it back.
Yep.
Buffalo's running it back and adding. Detroit's trying to run it back and add for the most part, although they have brand new coordinators across the board. But there's some incredible pressure in some of those spots in terms of filling out those sizable expectations. All right, coming up next, we will go around the league. I don't know what Dallas is doing. I don't know if Jerry's trying to win. I really don't. We'll get to it coming up next. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Elk & Elk Serious Lawyers, serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case review. Elk & Elk's proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. We go around the league, presented by Leaf Filter, official gutter guard of your Cleveland Browns. Longtime Cowboys defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence has signed with the Seattle Seahawks. So just this offseason, Zach Martin, DeMarcus Lawrence, really nothing in free agency for Dallas.
Yep.
What are we doing?
And you restructured CD and
they
Dak
paid
to
Dak
give you a ton of money.
All that money, and
For what?
Brian Schottenheimer? That's it. That's
That's
what
it.
we're doing, Jera.
It's strange. We talked about it last year going into the season. And by the way, it turned out to be right for the whole season. Certainly not in week one.
No.
Week one was not a problem for the Dallas Cowboys, unfortunately. But it is strange what they're doing. I really don't understand it, to be honest. It felt like a team that was on the cusp, and now they are clearly the third team in their division.
Yeah. Distant and fading.
And fading.
Yeah.
Rico Dowdle, they let go. I know they brought in Javonte Williams. Well, I guess they're going to draft once a great running back draft. But Rico Dowdle played well for them. And now he lands in Carolina, where they signed Chuba Hubbard to an extension. They've got the kid that they drafted, Jonathan Brooks, who retore his ACL, but then he retore his ACL as a rookie, which is tough. But Carolina's got a sneaky little squad there. If they can just get to the point where everybody on offense can understand Xavier Legit in the huddle, then they might have something. Apparently, nobody can understand anything that he says in the huddle. Bryce Young says he can't. Adam Thielen is the translator, which is
he's
incredible.
The one that eats the possum and all that, right?
Yes.
Isn't that his operation?
He does a lot of many things.
His press conferences are fantastic. The Patriots are releasing center David Andrews. He's been there forever. And so they're releasing David Andrews on that side of things. This one struck me fancy. The 49ers have signed quarterback Mac Jones, 2 years, $7 million. The amount of attention that was given to Mac Jones in the lead up to that draft, that Kyle Shanahan wanted him no matter what, there obviously was truth to it, that he did want him.
But isn't that also the Trey Lance draft? Right.
So it was between Lance and Jones, but everybody talked about, we think it's Mac Jones for the Niners, and then he went to 2 to get Trey Lance.
Yep.
And now he ends up with Mac Jones. So there must have been some truth to they did like something about Mac.
There's no doubt. And I think that, you think about Kyle and you bring in – that's a great place to go as a backup, right? It's
quarterback rehabilitation. That's what happened to Sam Darnold. That type of offense is what happened with Bake, with the Rams. Like you go to those type of guys who put you in a position to succeed and you rediscover why you're good at the game and how you're good at the game.
Yep.
I'm convinced of it.
Yep.
And that's what he's going to get a chance to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a skill set that travels, I believe, on the success of Sam Darnold. Mac Jones can do a year in San Francisco, and anybody running that offense, for example, let's say that Matt Stafford retires after this year. I'm not saying he will, but let's just, in a world where he did, or J.J. McCarthy suffers another injury, Kevin O'Connell, Sean McVay, here, we would look at that guy differently after a year of tutelage under Kyle Shanahan in that offense, because we've seen people play in it and then go on and play better elsewhere.
Yeah.
So I think that to me, for Mac Jones, what a perfect place to go. Absolutely perfect place to go.
Yeah. Is this our guy, Harrison Bryant, signing with the Eagles, 1 year, $2 million?
That is our guy. He was with the Raiders last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rappaport has him Raiders Patriots. I didn't remember him at the Patriots. I think it went from us to the Raiders.
What?
Rappaport is saying former Raiders and Patriots tight end Harrison Bryant.
No, Raiders and Browns.
Team Schultz would have had it right.
Raiders and Browns.
Yeah, he was in.
I mean,
he wasn't
in the middle of the season, he was cut.
Did he get cut and then picked up by them?
But the fact that he doesn't list Browns is very. I mean, he played 4
we
years
drafted
here.
him. Right. Yeah. That
I'm
doesn't
looking.
seem right.
Well, it's not a surprise, given the source.
Yeah. But no, I don't think he played in New England. I don't remember that. Not that I followed him every second.
He played the entire 4 years with the Browns and 1 year with the Raiders. We knew he was in the Raiders. I saw him when we were there.
Yeah.
Not a single game for the Patriots.
Come on, Rappaport. Rap
go.
sheet.
Shoot.
Lock it in.
Gibbe, quote tweet that and say, don't you have a phone call to answer?
Safety Harrison Smith's going to return to the Vikings. 1 year, $11 million. Minnesota's they're putting JJ in a spot, man. If that kid's got game to him, their defensive line completely, and their defense is good anyway. They added to that. Those receivers, I mean, they're 13-4. You want to talk about the best position a young quarterback's been in for success? That's way up there if JJ can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Eagles reach an agreement with Chiefs linebacker Josh Uche on a 1-year contract as well. And then the other thing around the league, Marvin Harrison Jr. and his he was in legal issues with Fanatics. That's been resolved.
A dispute,
As
as it were.
So if you want the Marvin Harrison jersey now on the Fanatics, you can get it. I wonder if you could get it at the facility.
I would have to imagine that they were. Yeah, you just probably couldn't get it through Fanatics, but I'd have to imagine the team shop.
But you can't buy. I think you couldn't buy
on
it
site.
On site, like
Yes.
you can't get it online because Fanatics runs the NFL site now.
Yeah,
They run all the sites.
that's just a wild.
I was told
a wild
that it
monopoly.
will be up sooner rather than later.
I bet they've had it ready for quite some time.
Yeah.
But you missed the apex to get it. Would have been last year. Like, how much money did he cost himself not selling his jersey online last year as a rookie? Like, he didn't
lot.
have that great of a year. Like, this isn't going to be like
but
a
he would have
huge,
been bought right. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying,
I
though,
think
like,
a lot. That would have been the biggest
that would
jersey
have been
sale.
of the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes, and of his career, most likely would be the first.
The
jersey.
first one.
Yes.
Yeah. And now there won't be near the enthusiasm for it. Seeing this from the Washington Post online, John Feinstein, sports commentator and author, dies at 68.
Died suddenly.
Wow.
Yeah, Season on the Brink.
Yeah.
He wrote Season on the Brink. He followed Bob Knight.
45 books.
That's the one that put it all on the. He was an SI guy when SI really mattered, and they had like all the best sports writers wrote for Sports Illustrated. When Sports Illustrated for us as a kids, like that was a window for me into sports was SI.
Yeah,
And he
of
was
course.
he was their college basketball guy. One of them, him and Curry Kirkpatrick was another one. But he wrote Season on the Brink, which was the ESPN made that into a movie. Brian Dennehy playing the role of Bob Knight.
Perfect casting. Did he write a Good Walk Spoiled about golf?
That seems like it.
His most recent book was Faraday, about David Faraday. 23 New York Times bestsellers.
No, that's not coming up. I don't know.
What did you say it was? A Good Walk Spoiled. Let's see.
It's a golf book, but I don't know why that popped into my head when you said his
The
name.
Majors, The Pursuit of Golf's Holy Grail, The Last Amateurs, The Purse, Caddy for Life. A lot of golf ones. Next Man Up. Tales of Boy, a lot of golf ones.
All right, so I had it. I missed it. Sad. I wonder who wrote that.
What was the name of it?
A Good Walk Spoiled. And it was about the PGA Tour, if I'm even recalling this correctly, but that came right into my mind.
John Feinstein.
Oh, so I was right.
Yep.
How about it?
How about it?
Well,
How about
Steel
it?
Trap. By the way, have you heard the news coming out of North Carolina? From
No.
The University. You have not seen this?
No.
Have you seen this?
No.
About Bill?
No.
What's up with Cooper Flag?
Again, this is via the Assembly NC. North Carolina's new digital statewide magazine, in-depth reporting. Doesn't have a ton of followers, but it does have some, and it's been picked up by others. That apparently Jordan Hudson, who is the 24-year-old girlfriend of Bill Belichick,
Okay.
has been acting as Belichick's agent. And in a memo that they received a copy of, now this says from the copy that they're showing is from 2024, December 16th, 2024. Was he already at North Carolina then?
What day?
December 16th, 2024.
No, he wouldn't have been at Carolina yet. That was more like January, wasn't it?
So
because
then
it was the NFL cycle, I think.
So then it's erroneous.
Oh, maybe. I mean, I could be wrong.
He's been there for a while. It is only beginning of March. So maybe it's possible. Supposedly in this email, it says, thanks for the email. From now on, he wants her CC'd on every email that's sent to him.
December 11th.
So it's possible. It's Monday, December 16th.
He wants her CC'd on every email?
Yes, thank you for the email, including Jordan on this email so she can keep up with our postings. Can you include her on anything you send to me? Thank you. And it was my guess is about social, Robbie Pickerel Evans, and Michael Lombardi.
Who is she?
His girlfriend.
I know, but other than that, like, how did this relationship come about?
I really don't know.
Great question.
Don't know.
Lombardi's taking victory laps. I mean, they haven't even played a game yet.
Well, no, they did nothing in recruiting and nothing in the portal.
Yeah.
So I don't really, and they weren't. It's not like he's taken over Alabama post Nick Saban. This strikes me a little bit like, do you remember? Was his name J. Howard Marshall, the Texas billionaire who married Anna Nicole Smith? Do you remember this story?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids have no idea.
don't
The G-Man
remember the
has
guy,
no
but-
idea. But I want to say the guy name was...
He was like an oil tycoon.
Yeah, like billionaire oil tycoon guy, and married Anna Nicole Smith, and it was like keys to
In
the kingdom.
1994, at the age of 89, he married 26-year-old model.
Did I get the
Anna
name
Nicole
right?
Smith. Yes, you did, 100%. That's a
You're
pretty
done.
good
You're
watch
done.
spoiled in John.
19 minutes to go, you're out.
That's way back in the
That
recesses
synapse
of our
is
brains.
just
Yes.
still
This was
firing.
his third marriage. Her second marriage lasted until he passed away 14 months later.
And like she seemed in love with him.
She sold it, baby.
I mean,
She
put
definitely.
on a
I
hell
think
of a
he
face.
took care of her, whatever. But like, that's like this Belichick thing's crazy.
Yeah.
So, following the death, she was in a court. Anna Nicole became involved in a court battle with her former stepson E. Pierce Marshall. Jay
Who was
Howard's
probably
will and
65.
trust did not include Anna Nicole or Jay Howard's other son, Jay Howard Marshall III. Anna Nicole and Jay Howard III both sought to overturn the will and trust. They both lost their cases. However, during the probate proceedings, Smith declared bankruptcy in California and was awarded $474 million as a sanction for E. Pierce Marshall's alleged misconduct and discovery. And then in 2002, it was vacated, and Smith's award was reduced to $88 million.
Well, she passed tragically too, though. Like
Yes,
she
she
didn't
did.
last a whole lot longer. But that is pretty crazy. Like Belichick. Like, what is he doing?
You keep waiting for that to go away, and it's.
No, and I don't. Yeah, I don't see it.
What you're the father.
Yeah.
Of her. What?
Well, grandfather could be.
Well, no. Like if you're her.
Oh,
father,
her dad was
Oh,
like
yeah.
me and Z's age, our age, our
Yeah.
3 age.
our age.
You got a daughter. She's
Not.
dating-
Yeah. I'm not dealing with that well.
Like no, I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
By the way, people are reporting that Russell Wilson has departed Berea.
20
And
minutes
there's
ago, there's some video out.
Video evidence of
I
it.
saw him over there when I walked in. I saw him.
We were here at 9:30 this
Oh,
morning.
geez, that's a long time. My guy Dunnigan over there. There you go.
Yeah, they were all over there. He left about 15 minutes ago, scheduled to visit the Giants tomorrow. The Browns have also officially announced 2 minutes ago they've agreed to terms with Malik Collins, back-to-back seasons of 5 sacks with Houston and San Francisco, and in 2023 had arguably the best season of his career, a lot of career highs. And you know who his defensive line coach was? Jacques Césaire, the defensive line coach of your Cleveland Browns.
There you go. Do you know what today was 5 years ago?
COVID.
Yeah, this was the day it all. Gibby and I were talking while you were interviewing Pickett. Like this was the day. Remember, it all shut down. All
So
those
this
college
was
basketball games.
Wednesday.
This was
5 years ago.
Wednesday was when Fred Hoiberg. Remember, he collapsed at the Big Ten tournament. Like, oh my God, can you just die by getting? Did he just die because of COVID like that? Like,
Well,
remember,
that's the
there
day
was
we
all that.
came back from Mexico. I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember
Miss
that.
Kay and I
then
did.
you and I did the show Thursday here.
I was not here Thursday. I never returned to the building.
We had that wrong.
I never returned. So I came back on Wednesday. By Wednesday night, the NBA, on our drive home from the airport, the NBA shuttered.
Yeah.
I called and was like, hey, we just came back through customs in
That's
O'Hare.
right. I remember that. Yeah, it was chaos.
Do you want us to come in? At first, they're like, yeah, of course. Then later that night, I think Nick reached back out to me and was like, why don't you just do work from home Thursday, Friday. If you don't have any symptoms by Monday, come back to work.
That's right.
By Friday, it was over. Like everything was closed, and I didn't come back to
I
this
thought
building.
he had come back.
I
Nope.
thought you were
That's
with.
on me.
I didn't come back to this building from when we went to Mexico until I want to say June of 2021 when we came back.
No.
Maybe
no.
for
no,
one-offs
we were
I
here
was
for
here.
training. So we were here for training camp, but we were outside
In 20.
in 20.
Yeah, but I mean like
inside.
inside in the studio
No,
doing
you and
shows.
I then were here for in 20. We were here. You and I. There was a giant wall down the middle. You and I were here. We got permission to do the show from here.
Oh, maybe Miss Kay.
But
did
then
not
like
return.
Thanksgiving
Yeah,
rolled
maybe I
around
did.
and it like
I'd seen something
spiked and they were like, you're out.
Yeah.
like,
So then I
the
wasn't.
team's on the other side.
Yeah.
There were 5 people in this building. Zakir and I were 2 of them.
2 of them. Yeah.
On this side of the wall.
Man, I thought I could have swore that it was the 3 of us right out here on that Friday getting gear.
In West Germany, we were on this side. East Germany had
They
the
were
football
there.
team.
No, I know I didn't come back for a great while.
Yeah.
Maybe Miss Kay didn't come back until June. But I mean, we did it. We were definitely not here because a few days ago was the anniversary of the trade for Odell. We were definitely not in the building.
Oh, we were in the building.
We were in the
Odell.
building
That was
for that.
2019.
We did that on the phone, and that was
Because that's why we did that one at
remember
home.
because we were at home because we
I remember.
Gibby's like, can you guys just get on the
An
phone?
emergency pod. That's why we
Yeah.
went. We went top
It was top 5 in the world.
in the world of any podcast.
Top 5 sports of any podcast in the world. The Odell Beckham trade.
Yeah,
God bless Browns fans.
that was our
God,
best
that's awesome.
emergency pod ever.
It's like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Went to top 5
we have
in the world.
we have an unheard.
You think you could sell that? Top 5 in the world.
We have
I feel
an,
like you could sell that.
Don't we have an unheard emergency? Like I want to say a Gerald McCoy podcast somewhere.
We do
that
have
we,
that.
that we did
That's-
record.
Yes, among others that will remain.
We
in
were
the-
talking about that yesterday.
that will remain deep in the. It's like that. It's like an Indiana Jones at the end of the first one when you just open up the doors and there's all those. That's kind of like the unheard podcasts that are out there.
God, we waited around. It was a Friday. He was in the cafeteria,
I know.
just hanging out.
Chilling.
I know.
It's like, come on, Gerald, let's get this done. All right, Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, buddy. Eventful day. Eventful little Thursday here on the program.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Very eventful.
I like Cornelius
Lots going
Lucas,
on.
man. You missed that interview. Find it. It's inspiring. The idea of
Great vibe.
to go from undrafted to 12 years in the league.
Just work. I mean, basically,
cool.
he's like,
Really cool.
It's about the work, and that's rare. That is rare. There's no doubt that is very, very rare to be an
Kenny
undrafted
Pickett
free
here?
agent for a decade.
Kenny Pickett was here as well. You got a chance to talk to him. Russell Wilson was in the building. We've
You'll hear
seen,
Mr.
video of him
Pickett
leaving.
tomorrow with Z.
How about it?
That'll be played there, which is a big win.
Yep.
You saw Russell Wilson leave the building via on a lot of the social media. He was here for much of the day and just left here in the last half hour or so. And so the league is kind of on hold a little bit for Rodgers at the top and then Wilson, wherever happens with that underneath, and we'll see. But
Yep.
it's been a wild week already, and who knows what tomorrow will bring, other than a lot of sunshine.
Who
Gonna be
knows,
nice, kids.
indeed.
Going to be nice out there, kids. Going to be nice. Enjoy
Yes.
yourselves if you can. All right, there you go. Busy little program. Much more fun headed your way tomorrow. The next level is coming up next. Thanks for listening, everybody. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.